That's why you went by Insight. Got it.
Right.
Well, welcome, Tara Sutphen. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy.
So you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for coming on board. And I know you for years, and yet I don't know you, but I've known you for years.
Yes.
So let me start out with everyone that does know Jason D. McKean, that this is Jason's sister, Tara.
Yes. Yes.
And he's Tara.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say he's the tarot wizard and one of your best friends.
Yes. But I was going to say that Tara paved the way for Jason.
Yes.
In terms of, I think he always had this thing, which had maybe, I don't think that had anything to do with you, this creation, because he was always a music person, and then Om came out. It was
my company that that put that out.
Oh my God! Yes, yes. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the story.
Yeah. We had a big company.
Yes. Oh my God. We got to talk about that just a little bit. So Tara oh my God, you're responsible for Jason's own creations. Really? Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. He told me the story, but of course, this is when I first got to know Jason. I think I've known him for about 6 years now. So when I hear the story in the beginning, you're like, great. You hear it, but you don't hear it. And then over the years, he's repeated it for different reasons. Something would just come up and we would start discussing things. And then the story would get repeated. But oh my God, Tara, you're the one responsible for this whole thing. So you started out with a company that was very, very successful. I totally forgot that. Yeah. Oh, wow. No wonder you are who you are. Yeah. And you're actually then responsible for Jason meeting his wife.
Yes. I knew his wife a few years before he did. And she met him through the company. Yeah.
I know.
It's such a beautiful little soulmate. Yeah. That was really a cute story.
But look at you that had this thing about you that created so much beyond not just having a successful company, but so much beyond. So what did the company actually do?
Well, we're in inspirers. You know, we've always been, inspire others to become their best. So it's all about strengthening the mind. We used a lot of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. And so, I was best friends with Jess Stern, who is, who a lot of people really don't know Jess, because Jess's time was in the 50s and 60s. And he was a New York best-selling, he was a best-selling author, and he was on the New York best sellers list for Yoga, Youth, and Reincarnation in 1965, and also for The Sleeping Prophet, which made Edgar Cayce famous. So he's really, and he was a editor of U.S. News and World Report, and he was a big newspaper journalist for New York. I think it was the Daily News, New York Daily News. Really? It was a big newspaper at the time, anyway. Well, in the 30s, 40s, 50s.
It was very big.
Right. He was. So anyway,
more sensationalism now, but it still is. Yeah.
So I was oddly best friends with this man, who we met in Hollywood, and we became best friends. Very dearest friends. I mean, every holiday was spent together. I had a baby on his birthday, got married on his deck. I mean, he was truly family to me and to my whole family, to Jason too. So Jason, I married, and we had this company, and it was going back and forth. We started a bookstore in Malibu called Malibu Shaman. That now is still going because Scott Sutphen has it now. And
I was going to say that bookstore rings a bell. It's the same name?
It's still here. It's still,
still alive
since the early 80s. And so, yeah, we had just tons of stuff that we did. We did a lot of trainings, a lot of hypnosis, a lot of MP3s. At the time, the recordings were tapes, and then they became CDs, and then they became, and now they're MP3s, all digital. The thing is that, and with all that is that, I was nominated for Grammys.
What?
Yeah, in the early 90s for my meditations.
Oh.
So, we were on the stream. It was just that when New Age was kind of a dirty word and reincarnation was a dirty word, even though, all the rest of the world, the Eastern world, believed in reincarnation, but the Western world wasn't up to speed with it. So now we're
it's interesting. In order for me to find my way, I had to follow Western philosophy.
Yeah,
I had to go into the Asian world. Like, it felt right for me. Even though I didn't understand it, I knew that I had to follow something, and they had a format.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah. So, we just lived kind of a really amazing life, but we worked the whole time. And I've still been
real
working.
Pioneers, though. Real pioneers in this world.
Yeah, we were part of, and I had started with Jess, who is truly a pioneer and who probably brought Eastern thought to the Western world, because nobody was paying attention in England at the time. No one was paying attention to yoga or to Eastern philosophy through the India tradition.
Yes.
And so, which they have a lot of Indian people there in the United Kingdom, but they weren't really listening in the early 60s yet. And so when he wrote the book, Yoga, Youth, and Reincarnation, and it hit the New York Times, bestseller list, he started a trend. And so that trend started to open the doors of people like looking to, and for him, he did it because his back was out and he would like to, he thought yoga might help a lot of people.
Yeah, which it really does. It's a great way to strengthen your body. It's a great way to lose weight. It focuses your mind when you can, practice an exercise. Imagine practicing an exercise and your mind opens to everything.
Yes.
It's a weird thing with yoga.
Yes. Yeah. It's a beautiful practice, really. I tend to like cardio a little bit more, but it's a really incredible practice. And I have horses, so I do a lot of, I'm stretching to carrying stuff through the horses. So I don't do as much yoga as I should.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of traditional yoga. And then there's what's the yoga where they do it in 90-degree weather, 100-degree insulated?
Like Bikram?
Bikram, yeah.
Well, everybody who does it looks fantastic.
Yeah. I'll die. I'll just die. I already know it. You got to know your body.
Right.
But I'm jealous of people who can withstand that.
Yeah.
And the most I've ever been able to do with yoga, and I did it consistently for about 2 years, was Kundalini yoga.
Right. Yeah. And I'm friends with many of those people.
Yeah. Kundalini type people.
Yeah. I have links to the Sikh community. Yeah.
Oh. And it seems easy, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother discipline.
Oh, it's a way of life. It's a way of life that they feel you're already an enlightened being, that you know, all you're doing is you're in service to the planet. That's what they believe. And that's what the Kundalini is all about, is bringing up your energy to achieve.
You know, then it makes sense why I would gravitate to Kundalini yoga, because I believe I'm at service to the planet.
Oh, you are. You are. You are.
I believe it. I knew it. I knew it. God.
Right.
You know, you don't get to explain sometimes in real-time words what's happening inside of you. Yeah. Sometimes you get, but when you just are, and you're just moving about the country in a particular manner, man, it makes sense later on when somebody gets to come along and be like, no, you're in service to the planet. You prove it. You are. Thank you.
Well, you're a divine messenger, you know, and with that is there sometimes it's hard. It's hard to be a divine messenger because, you know, you're giving all the time. And, you know, you have to have a balance of being able to receive. And so I've been doing a lot of meditation and a lot of helping others learn to receive in their life. That, you know, really the earth is all about the bounty and the blessings of the planet, you know, and they're ours. They're everyone's by birthright. You know, it has nothing to do with prosperity, is for everyone on every level. And so therefore all you do is you open yourself to receive it, you know, and that's a hard thing. You know, most people struggle with money. They struggle with love. They struggle with their weight. They struggle with, you know, they struggle with everything. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to struggle. You're supposed to receive, and you're supposed to, you know, give naturally. And then when you're in the flow of that back and forth, then it seems to be like, oh, it's such a beautiful exchange.
Yeah.
Beautiful exchange.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Okay. Unfortunately, you're going to discover that I'm completely quirky. I just lost my earpiece. And the problem with that is one earpiece will go out, the other one will come back in. Okay. And in a minute, if I only use one, then the other one will fail.
Okay.
So just give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Nope. I'll move my chair back a little. Nope. Doggone it.
Oh, it's not like you can do a beep beep to it or something.
No, it's not one. It just popped out my ear. And
is it in your hair?
What you say?
Is it in your beautiful hair?
No, I heard it fall on the floor.
Okay.
But I don't. Listen, when it begins to go out, I can improvise, but bear with me because I just don't see where it fell to.
Did it go under maybe? Because you know how it sometimes when you hear it fall, but it falls like a long way.
Like it skipped or something.
Yeah.
I'm checking. Nope, I just don't see it. Oh. I just feel like it'll ruin everything with the one, because I don't have a replacement. You know what's funny? I was telling someone I need a replacement.
Oh, and see? Yeah, well, that's your psychic ability, right?
Yes, that means
listen.
I'm going to have to do the right thing, because this is not right that all of a sudden I can't find my little earpiece. All right. I'm not going to worry. No, I'm not going to worry about it. We will deal with what we will deal with. Don't worry. Let's not worry.
All right. Can you put it on? That you don't have it in your ear, that you have it just on the computer?
No, I actually need it in my ear.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't bought those yet because, you know, I think that, oh my, you know, it went out.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is the case. But what I do is normally, as they lose life, I take one out, I recharge it, I put the other one in, and it lets me last the whole time. But it is what it is.
Okay.
So just let me look at some of the comments here.
Okay.
So let's talk about a couple of things. I had a client the other day that needed hypnosis.
Yes.
And And she knew it. She's like, I think hypnosis is something that could help me. What is hypnosis and why do I need hypnosis?
Well, hypnosis is a form of meditation. And so, yeah. And so it's only just going into a more of a focused type of meditation. Hypnosis is like really when you need that meditation to guide you, because you're a lot of times in meditation, you know, if you do self-meditation, you know, I do a lot of transcendental meditation, and that's with a mantra, and that's when you want to stay present. And that's nice. You know, I've always liked that. But if you're doing hypnosis, sometimes you're going round and round and round, you know, like in the middle of the night, you wake up and you're going round and round about some problem, or what I should have said, or what I shouldn't have said, or what I should do, or what, you know, any sort of beating yourself up, whatever it is, you know, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, you're going round and round when you're sitting there trying to do self-hypnosis. Well, that's when visualizations come in. So these meditations that are guided allow you to listen to a voice, get into a mood, and then just really relax your body, because, you know, our blood pressure needs to go down. Our bodies need to, you know, be in extreme resonance with the divine. And the more we can vibrate on such an incredible level, the better it is that we're going to be able to flow with our money, our love, our, you know, connections to people, you know, and just in whatever problems that come up, you know, because we're not going to escape any of that. That doesn't seem to be our lives. You know, we're going to have somebody, or somebody else has a problem and we have to deal with their problem. And so you're a professional at that. So, you know, you're really good at turning people into back to their flow, because that's what, you know, psychics do, is really get them back to their point of, you know, taking their focus off of what's bothering them. This is what's upcoming. So get off what's bothering you. I'll tell you what points were. Let's go forward. So the same thing with hypnosis is you're just laying there and you're resting, and you just allow your body to rest, your mind to rest, your spirit to rest. And so it's really a rejuvenation tool.
Yeah. You know, the other day I went into urgent care, right? Which nobody should go into the hospital or urgent care, but I did. And because I believed something about my body, I was like, this is now a problem. So I go in and they do the normal assessment, and they go to take my blood pressure. And they go, are you on meds? And I said, no, but your blood pressure is high. And I was like, it's not high. And they point to the machine and they go, it absolutely is high. And I was like, no, it really isn't. So I was like, give me 10 minutes.
I love it. Yeah.
Give me 10 minutes. And so they went, and I went into my state, because I have been practicing mantras. And so I don't have that twirling thing in my head about what mistakes I made during the day, or maybe I should have said this differently. I listen to mantras. Ironically, I listen to money mantras. Like, if I'm going to listen to mantras, it's going to work for me double, right?
That's right.
So I listen to.
Why not?
You understand?
Why not?
Right.
If that's what you need a boost, you boost it. Yeah.
Thank you. And so I listened to money mantras often, so I knew how to calm myself down. So I went into the mode and I calmed myself down, opened my palms. And when I came back, it was normal. And I loved it, because I was like, see?
Right. But that's what you have to do to go back to normal. Yeah.
Yes. And that normal helps you to deal with stress.
Yes.
Relationship issues.
Right.
Work. I would think, Tara, in the middle of the COVID, learning how to operate your stress levels has to be the most important thing. I think COVID loves stress.
Yeah, I know. I
On
agree.
top of maybe not eating right, which I think
Yeah.
is a whole nother conversation we
Right.
can have.
Everybody ate their supplies. Can you buy junk food, you know, because that's cheap and easy to cook. Yeah.
Yes.
No, everybody
I
got
mean, I
their
remember
supply.
during the first lockdown that I was shocked, Tara, just completely shocked
Mhm.
that the produce section still had food.
Right.
But the frozen food section, where the pizzas are and the morning breakfast, was empty.
I know.
And
Yeah,
it was
I know.
at that point I said to myself, you've got to change the way you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot eat anything boxed now.
Yeah.
One, there was no box
Oh,
food.
yeah,
But
no
two,
box. Yeah.
no box food. But two, COVID was trying to tell me something, you know, like, hey, eat produce, eat vegetables, lots of it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll survive. And I was like, really, COVID? Really, God? What?
Mm-hmm. I know.
And
yeah, and you know, they're liking to, you know, we've been scared a few times this year. So let's, you know, we have to eat well and take care of ourselves. Be strong.
have to eat well, take care of ourselves, and stress. So I'm really a fan of one, I didn't know hypnosis was a form of meditation.
Yeah.
I thought it was mind control. So help me why I am
Well, you
ignorant
want
that
to,
way.
well, I think that because they use it on stage hypnosis, so they get kind of dramatic with it. But it's really not, you know, so they do the where they trick the brain. But you can trick the brain for great things, you know, not
Yes.
for kind of silly things. And that's what I never really like the silly stuff. I know that it proves a point about how you know, how really powerful hypnosis is. But I personally, I use it to really increase people's, you know, their ability to succeed.
To change, to grow, to succeed.
To succeed. I mean, you know, because I've had a kidney transplant that I've worked with now for 2.5 years. And we've had such great, phenomenal success. And then, you know, I mean, and all my career people, my success people, them too, you know, where, I mean, I've done it since, you know, really helped with hypnosis. I use the moon cycles. I use astrology, Eastern and Western. You know, I'm pretty deep in. Yeah, I'm deep in.
Oh, I saw
Whereas
that.
I want you to make a difference. And so if you know, like people who continuously work with me, I'm usually, you know, really helping them create the best life that they can, and trying to bring them into clarity. So, and that's just it, you know, like, well, if you go this way, you know, it's not like going this way. This way.
Yeah, I went on your website and let me read it. I was going to read it in the beginning, and it's so easy to get distracted. You're one of those types of people where you could just engage. Are you fired? Did Jason tell me you were a Sagittarian?
I'm a Sagittarius, yeah.
Yes. So it's easy. Leo, Sagittarian.
Yeah.
It's just
You're a
easy
Leo?
to flow.
Are
I'm
you
sorry?
a Leo? Are you a Leo?
Yeah, Leo. Yeah.
When's your birthday?
Few days before Jason, I'm the 8th.
Oh, okay. No, Jason's the 6th. So you're the 8th?
Darn it.
Yeah.
Beat me.
Well, it's almost the same. It's nice in there. So you're
so
about
almost the
17
same.
degrees, 16, 17 degrees. Yeah. Leo. Nice.
Yeah.
It's expressive. That's the expression that you need to express yourself. You're probably a thespian too. That's a thespian.
I'm probably what?
A good thespian, you know, an actor. You could have been a great actress.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. Not to get off topic because I want to read your website. My son is an actor. And he's only an actor because of natural dramatics in the house. Do you know what I mean? And then one day I was taking him on an audition with NBC for Blackish. No, wait. Oh, I can't remember the show. I don't think it was Blackish. It was a show just prior to Blackish. Yeah. It was successful for a while with Tisha Campbell was in it. That's the one. Whatever the name of that show was. And the Wayne and one of the Wayne brothers. And somebody comes out and she looks, I had my cousin with me, so I have proof. And she looks at me and she goes, "Do you want to be an actress?" And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. I know, but who knew that? Because what I did was I thought it was my job. I thought it was my job to support my child.
Well, of course, and it was, and it is.
Thank you.
It was.
You understand, because you have that same. I know you. You have that same fierce mother in you, right? Because I know you, right?
Right.
It's funny. I know you, but I don't know you, but I know you, right? You know, Jason and I talk a lot. So I know you have that fierce mama bear in you.
Yes.
And so I didn't want to, one, step in front of my son. I thought, two, I wanted to support my son. And two, I didn't want to step in front of him. I knew my characteristic.
Yes.
And I knew that if I stepped into the acting world, I was going to outdo my own baby.
Right. You get carried away. Not to say that it's a big world. I mean, you could have your.
It is, but still.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You just never know. Yes. It's a selfish world too, and who knows? I'd have to crack a whip over my son and grab him back and be like, "That's my job." Like, who knows? Yeah. Back in the day, greed was big.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the world,
you are a great psychic. You are a great psychic, and that is in service. To being an actor is not necessarily being in service.
Thank you. And so what I decided to do, once he was out of it, and he got out of it at 16, and if anybody knows boys and actors, if they start in too young, they get out.
Yeah.
If they start at 18, they'll be successful.
Yeah.
By staying in longer, whatever successful means. I don't mean it that way. But if they start in too young, they're already over it. They're burnt out. And he was one of those.
Yeah.
By the time he turned 17, 18, he was like, "I'm done, Mom. I'm going to do music," which is fine. And it's not until he got out that YouTube then showed up for me. And I thought, I'm going to bring the theatrics to YouTube.
Yes.
Who cares? And at the time, I promise you, Tara, at the time, at some point I had matured. I got a little chunky. I don't know if there was maybe when they asked me at the time, my son was 7. Maybe I was beautiful then. But over the years, you get a little chunky. And do you really fit into the entertainment world the way they need you? Whatever that means. And I was like, I'm going to pave my own way in YouTube.
Yeah. I love it. Good.
So now I'm just this quirky psychic that originally started out talking about celebrity drama, and since then it's definitely turning into some. God knows what it's turning into, but it's turning into something different now. Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God for any form of evolution. However,
true.
I talk too much, but bear with me.
That's
and
why
I like to talk about myself a lot, so stop me. Just stop, Tracey. Enough about you.
No, I love it. Yeah.
So I'm looking at your website, guys, and also what I like to do is remind people. I'm realizing that telling people how to reach you at the end is just so stupid. Like, I'm going to start saying it throughout. So Tara's Insight is Tara, Tara, Insight, INSIGHT.com.
Yes.
So guys, go on her website right now and let's walk through this together. Pronounce your last name one more time for the people.
Sutphen. It's Sutphen, and Zutphen is a town in Holland with a Z, and that's where the name came from.
Oh, and do you guys have heritage from Holland?
Well, I don't know if I do normally, but my ex-husband did. He's now
Got it.
deceased.
This is your married name.
Yeah, that was
Got
married
it.
name.
I understand.
And when I got
Absolutely.
divorced, it didn't seem, since I'd been married for 30 years, it really didn't seem good for me, my professional name to change in any way other than, to have some fun names associated with myself.
No,
Inside
I totally get it.
hypnotherapy.
It's a weird era, and I would advise every woman nowadays to keep a form of their maiden name. Do not give it up.
Right.
That's what I would tell everyone. Because when I got married, I used to be a Hearn. And when I got divorced, my son was a Hearn.
Yeah.
And back in the day when you went to school and you're like, what's your name, Brown? What's your name, Hearn? There was this assumption that you were never married. Like they just go in there. So I kept Hearn until my son was 16. And then I went to him and I was like, listen, I don't know if Hearn's working for me. Imagine me asking permission of my son. And I was like, can I go back to my maiden name? And he was like, Ma, please do whatever you want. And I was like, oh.
Right.
Oh.
But that just shows your heart, that you're interested in not hurting his feelings ever, which is nice.
Yeah. But when he was like, I don't care. And I was like, oh, wait, when did you stop? Like at 5? Like, when could I have done this? You mean I could have done this 10 years ago?
Right.
So funny.
Maybe not. At 10, he might have said, why didn't you make this easy? Yeah.
Don't trust your children, by the way. They will say stupid stuff like that. All right. But
they hold back. I've noticed that in mine.
They say the dumbest things. Like my son said to me the other day, we were talking about relationships and issues and some past, marriage issues. And my son goes, why didn't you tell me any of this? And I was like, what? Because the same issues, when you don't deal with the issues, the same issues just gets transferred over. So instead of coming to me, he gets it.
Yeah.
And he's like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, no, sweetie, no. I'm not here to make you understand my grief and my hatred, my disdain. No, you have every right to love your dad. If things are starting to show up now, you deal with it. But let me tell you, and then I thought like, that's normal. Let me tell you. Yeah. But now he's an adult. So now I'm like, I got some stories for you. But I would never have said it at 10, 12, 16. No. I wouldn't have said it at 25 even.
Yeah.
But he's 32 now, and just things are starting to, there's this thing that's morphing into something else, and he's waking up.
Yeah, they're great at in their 30s.
Don't you like your children when they're that grown? Talking about children.
I've always loved my children, but
I can't say that.
It's so much easier when they're adults because you can be in
They are. There were times when I was like, do you like me? Like, what is happening here? Because you would be like, hey, good morning. Like, you're so happy to see your son every morning. And they're like, good morning. Like, no, babe. No, let's try that again. How's your grandbaby?
Oh, she's going to be 5 next week, or the 25th.
And
so I guess about.
Let me just make sure this is your only one.
Only one.
Yes. Okay. So I am on the right grandbaby.
Yes.
And did I hear you had a visit, or you went to go get the baby?
Well, I have. We haven't been real successful lately with her, so that's another whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a constant thing.
Yeah. That's been an interesting karma. Let's put it karma. But yeah, oh gosh, that child. Yeah, I'm definitely tied to her. You know, we were definitely, you know each other. However, past lives,
Yes.
the universe,
Yes.
whatever it is. I mean, you know, we just come together like glue. And she comes together with the whole family on our side like glue. So we're really happy. She's a very
She knows.
She's a very cool
She
child.
knows.
Yeah, she knows.
And
She's
I'm
very
also
known.
thinking she
Mhm.
feels very blessed to have you fight for her as
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah, she does.
You know?
Hmm.
So keep at it, even though I understand, you know,
Yeah.
the bumpiness that seems to come
Hmm.
along with all of this. You know, a lot of times, Tara, when someone is special,
Hmm.
early on, you will get these obstacles.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's a very special person for sure. I mean, I tend to kind of chuckle at some of the things that are happening around her because I think that it's her. I don't think that,
Yeah.
you know, people really understand, but I feel I do. And she's great. She's
Well,
really great.
people don't need to understand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
know that one, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, your presence in her life is meaningful. And
Yes.
we don't have to see it today. And what you see between you and her is
Yeah.
the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
No one else has to get what it is that you're feeling, because I understand that feeling and
Mm-hmm.
how uncomfortable it is when you try to explain to people, hello, and
Yeah.
no one, but I get it. So let me just give you a good example of getting it. My daughter-in-law had a little girl,
Mm-hmm.
and when she was pregnant, her mother came to me, and her mother said, this is a daughter that she's having. My daughter-in-law's mother had passed on 5 years, 6 years ago now. But at the time, it was 3 or 4 years. And I said, oh, okay. So I went to the daughter-in-law and I said, hey, sweetie, you're having a girl. Your mother told me. And she said, absolutely not. I'm having a boy, and that's that. And I was like, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What am I supposed to do with that information?
Yeah.
I don't argue with humans. It's bad enough I gotta argue with spirit, right?
Right.
So I pulled my son aside, and later on, I waited months, and he's about to relocate to Washington. And I said, babe, listen to me. You are having a girl. And he said, okay, mom. And I said, okay. Now she gets confirmation that she's having a girl. And
Yeah.
they're all the way in Washington. And for some reason, now I'm having a conversation with the baby in utero.
Yeah. Of course, because you're
You
connected.
get that?
Of course.
Exactly. Exactly. Just the way you feel about your granddaughter.
So do you just
You
have one
can't explain
granddaughter?
it.
Do you have just one granddaughter?
Actually, I have two granddaughters,
Oh, good.
but one of them, the mother hates me, so it is what it
Oh,
is. Maybe one day I'll get to see her. It is
oh,
what it is. I
okay.
that
So
we
you're
gotta
five
leave to
foot
God.
one. Okay.
But but I said, the little girl comes to me and I said, and she had a range, 16, 17, 18, 19, that she was going to be born. So I said, when are you going to be born? And she said, the 17th. And I was like, oh, okay. And I must have said, why? And she said, because they like the 18th. They were married on 8/18.
Oh, so they really
And
like
she said,
it.
because, yeah,
Yeah, they like it.
exactly. They like they like the 18th, she tells me. And I was like, I got it. Because I understand these two egotistical beings. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I got it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to them and I said, hey, so Nova told me she's going to be born on the 17th. And oh, they laughed. Everybody laughed. Ah, ha, ha. And I was like, oh, no, she spoke to be inside the belly from different states.
All right. Yeah. And then they laugh more.
And
Yeah,
they laugh and they laugh.
they do.
And so now it's
Yeah.
time for her to have the baby,
Yeah.
right? And my daughter-in-law is going in, on the 14th. They sent her home. Going in on the 16th. They sent her home. And finally, no, finally, late at night on this, I can't remember. She was kind of in the hospital for like 22 hours. So maybe must have been on the 15th. And I'm thinking, Nova, we had an agreement. Why is your mother in the hospital? Right? And now everybody's taking bets. That's what we do in Black families. We're like, okay, let's put money on it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't like including in any of those anymore, but because I win. Yeah.
Exactly. And so everybody put their date, their time in, and I said after midnight. Because that would have been the 17th.
Right.
7 o'clock. She dilates at 9 centimeters. 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm about
you think you're gonna lose that. You think you're gonna lose that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did she do?
No. And she waited. I went to sleep at 11:30, just passed out from so much excitement inside of me.
Yeah.
I woke up at 3 and there was nothing on my phone to tell me that she had been born.
Wow.
So I'm thinking something went wrong.
Yeah,
you're like, if I don't hear from them, she wasn't born until 4:30. She never went past 9 centimeters.
Wow. And so
when
she waited
said
till
the 17th, she wasn't kidding.
Right.
People
she didn't want to be born on the 18th. That's funny. So is that her personality now?
Well, she's a Taurus.
Oh, she's a Taurus, of course. She has her own mind made up. They have a really set path, usually, the Taurus. I know I have a Taurus daughter. Yeah.
Oh, so you get it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I met your daughter, too. She's just as beautiful as you. So you get it. Is she April or May Taurus?
She's April. She's early. She's the 27th. Yeah.
Little more fire with April Tauruses. A little more kick fire.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect with you being a fire mother. It's a good match, actually.
Yeah, we were good. We're still good. Yeah, but growing up, oh God. Yeah. She was a good match for me. I mean, she was totally born to be my child. I mean,
yes.
Wanting to look at the stars, the psychic ability, the wanting, just always up to doing some kind of magical, just in the realm of enchantment.
I love that.
She was enchanting. Yeah.
I love that. And isn't it amazing when you can see the magic in your children?
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Oh, my son could see spirits.
Yeah.
And I encourage it. He would see period people. And don't be near a grave. He can see just all of them there. Oh, wow. Yeah. He has a great gift. Yeah, yeah. And then my grandson there's a Orisha, in an African community, it's CHANGO, and he came out loving the colors red and black when CHANGO's red. And I have a picture of this to this day. I won't be able to find it right now. Hopefully I saved it on Facebook, where I lit my birthday candle. The cake is on fire because he's standing right next to the cake and his energy. And I was like, oh my God, this kid, he's got it too.
Yeah.
They all have it. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Let me go get some tissue because I'm sweating with my door closed. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
And I'm just going to open my door now. It was so hot that there was just so much heat coming in. But after a certain hour, there's still heat coming in. But I need it. I need a little bit of air. Cross ventilation. All right. You are so much fun to talk to.
I know. You are too. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe how nervous I was. It's just flowing so easily. So thank you for your patience and your kindness for coming on.
Oh, yeah.
So Tara's website is tarainsight.com. Please go on her site, guys. And Tara Sutphen brings practical and effective guidance to our lives through a kaleidoscope of sources, from the mystical to the scientific. Tara reaches out for divine inspiration in the exact way that each of us need it in any given moment. Whatever has us stuck is shrouded or veiled, or whatever is blocking our successes and expansion, Tara uncovers, empowering us to follow our highest path forward. If patterns or limitations have left you thinking there must be more, you're right. And this more is the wisdom Tara brings to you. Wow. And so Tara's services are psychic readings, of course, hypnotherapy, past life regression, Eastern Western astrology, tarot, shamanic sorcering, a bender. What is that?
My spirit guide.
Something called your spirit guide, something called tarot channeling, hypnothesia, ceremonies. I love any kind of ceremonies.
Yeah.
I would participate in any kind of ceremonies. I just love ceremonies. I love ceremonies without all the rules. Religion has all these rules and it doesn't make sense. But I like ceremonies that create the reason behind it. So let's discuss Abenda. What am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah. Abenda.
What is
so
Abenda?
Abenda is my spirit guide. And, you know, and we have a lot of, basically, her and I are in experiments. Where we talk to each other. I had a near-death experience when I was 6 weeks old. I had 7.5 hours of surgery. And, you know, I wasn't expected to live, you know, and died a few times on the operating table. Sent my mother home at the time, you know, no taxis. My dad was away on a business trip and you know, they didn't let the mother spend the night. So she was taken home and, you know, she expected not to have me alive in the morning. I mean, that's what they told her. So, you know, of course I decided to stay. I mean, they probably on the other side was like, okay, you know, you're staying. So just like they did on my second.
You can't leave.
No. So when I was 8 years old, I had another near-death experience, completely different from the problem that was, you know, before I was an accident. And I was in the hospital being put onto the operating table and had the last gasp. I lost a lot of blood. And so I went to the top of the operating room and looked down at my body, was looking down at my body. And I knew at that point, with everybody on the planet, that your consciousness, when you die, goes with you. It's not like you're unconscious going and dying. Your consciousness actually goes with you. And so when I was at the top, when I was out of my body, I saw the top of the operating room. And I, as an 8-year-old, said, that's my ugliest color. And it was just kind of a tan, pinky, like a Band-Aid color. And I just was like, ugh.
I mean, your body had this tan color.
No, the roof of the ceiling did. The ceiling. No, it was just that my consciousness went with me. So I knew that, you know, I knew that my body was there, but I didn't care about my body. I was like, oh, I got to get away from that emergency team because they're like really working on me hard to try to, you know, do something to me. And I didn't really care. You're not really super attached at that moment. But I'm still, you know, me.
So got it.
So then when I looked back up to the ceiling was gone. And so that's when I flew. And I mean, you're so euphoric. It's just flying. And I'm flying to the light because I felt that light on my back and I was going to the source of the light. And so I was going for it. And And all of a sudden I was stopped.
You're like, I'm out of here.
You know, just stopped. And then what I noticed, because the light is so intense, that a lot of like, we think are shadows sometimes, and people saying goodbye to us and all sorts of different things. They're usually, it's because they come through the light, the time of light from the other side. And so they're just a silhouette. And so we don't see them correctly. We don't see almost anybody correctly. And so, and so I was seeing all these shadows and all these silhouettes of people, but these two women were talking at me. And so they were saying, you can't come up here, you know, you have to go back. And they talked to me. It seemed like a very long time. They were telling me that I was going to have 3 kids and that I was going to really love my life. I was going to have a really great life. So I had to go back. And they, you know, did all sorts of telling me what all the events and stuff. And so, but they were treating me like,
and you were 8.
I was 8. And so they were treating me like I was 8. You know, you're going back. No, you're going to come back. We're going to hold your hand and you're going to go back, you know? And so I'm up at the top of the operating room, and I'm like, you know, I have to go back. And so I slammed into my body. And when I slammed in my body, it was darkness. And then I didn't wake up until I saw the nurse's station out in the middle of the night. I woke up. So, so I thought, oh, you know, I'm back, you know, because I was explaining to these women how much pain I was going to be in. It wasn't going to be fun. I didn't need to really go back, you know. Yes. You know, I just didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. You know, you don't think about anything or anyone. It was odd. It was very it was interesting.
Yeah. You know, I have an adult book club, I like to call it. And I'm literally reading this book or any story every Saturday. So today, I'm reading this book called Embraced by the Light by Betty Eadie.
Right.
It's been one of my favorite books. I read it when I was in my 20s. I was working in an oncology unit, and it helped me to understand death, dying, and living is the way I describe it.
Yeah.
And so just today, the part in the book is exactly what you described.
Oh, how fun. That is so much fun.
So it's just the synchronicity of, you know, I said today, I was like, most people that have a higher gift, usually you will hear a story about them having had died.
Yeah.
Or near death, whatever that means. It could be, in your case, kind of getting that far would have meant that you would have died. You know what I mean? If you got that far. For others, like you, I died, almost died twice. Yeah. I don't know. Once I was way too young to understand. So I just know I had pneumonia. My mom didn't know it. And the doctor's like, 1 more hour and she would not be here. I don't know how they make those measurements, but that's what he told my mom.
Right.
And around 10, I almost drowned.
Yeah. See? Yeah. And then they save you from that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so in the book, she says something about being released from her body at this cavity. And like you described, she was like, it was like a magnet. Shoot.
Yeah. And it's usually through the solar plexus. It's not like the top of the head, which I think a lot of people, think that the crown is your pathway, but it's really the body. The soul must sit somewhere in your gut, really, Yeah.
And it also sounds like, in terms of, she said 2 people had come to get her, and she said 2 old men, and you said, you were about to get into heaven. You were just almost there, and these 2 women stopped you.
Yeah. And you're so like, what?
You're like, listen, ladies, let me in.
Right.
And I love that you said that they talked with you like you were an 8-year-old. And they're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
sweetie, you gotta go back. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that. You
and
know
then,
why? Because they deal with us where we're at.
you're right. They deal with us where we're
And
at.
that's why you said our
Hmm.
consciousness
Yeah.
comes with us, because it was an 8-year-old mind that went.
Hmm.
But
Right.
I also, I don't know if I said it today or if I said it some other day. Oh, one of my clients lost her sister. And
Oh,
of course, she can't understand why, but in the COVID, oh my God, like we're going to hear a lot of these stories. And I said to her, I
yeah.
said, sometimes the body has a different agreement with God.
Oh, yeah.
This, you
We're
know,
all on our
I don't think
individual
the soul
journeys.
wants to leave. I just think
Yeah.
the body has a different agreement. And then who wins?
Right. Well, yeah, yeah. You've set it up prior there. I mean, that's why we wrote that book, the predestiny of soul agreements. It was all about what did you
Who wrote this book?
me. I wrote 90% of that book.
So
Yeah.
start over again.
Mhm.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you. You wrote a
yeah.
book called,
Soul agreements, and it's
and that's how I could find it. Soul
yeah,
Agreement.
yeah, it's on Amazon. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, my ex-husband and I, we wrote that book. But so he did, so we're both hypnotists. So he did the he did the hypnosis with the client. I chakra linked to the client, went into hypnosis with them, saw everything that they were experiencing, and then I'd follow up doing their full astrology and their and Abenda might get in, my spirit guide. She might give, because I've done a lot of automatic writing throughout the world as well, and have a lot of books about that. I have 3 books about Abenda. So and then
How nice is it to have a
and the
relationship with your, like a real relationship with your spirit guide? That's beautiful.
yeah, I mean, her and I are really an experiment how close you can connect and communicate with each other. And
Yes.
she gives
Yeah.
excellent advice. Excellent. Because she has the overview of everyone. And she doesn't, and we just laugh. I just laugh because I mean she loves me to work. That's the main thing. She doesn't really care about relationships
Yeah.
in life. She wants working. And us because it's such a gift that we have this connection, that to
Yeah.
use it every day that we
Yeah.
can, because life is not really that long, and so she's always on me to use it. So it's pretty funny.
Oh
But we've got
no,
New York
I
back.
get it. Yeah, I tell my people that my guides, whoever they are, and it could be any, the labeling, I can't give you all the labels because I don't care
Right.
anymore, but it helps to say something. So my guides talk to your guides,
Right.
and what they give back to me is the truth, is,
Right.
they're the overseers. So when I say something, it's not that I'm a good psychic. I wish I can take credit for it.
Mhm.
I'm just disciplined.
Right. And
But I
that's the
love that
same
you
with
have a
her.
unique
Mhm.
experience with yours.
Right. Yeah. So when I did the automatic writing, I used to do the automatic writing sessions. I started a column called Cause and Effect. And it was Abenda
Hmm.
did the automatic writing. And it wasn't that I would know so much about what's happening in your life, but you're someone who loves you very much,
Hmm.
or your spirit guide would know. And so I would go into trance and go up to her, and then whoever she brought in, then they would write through my hand. And it became prolific. I mean, we did it for many years. And we've gone more into the speaking channeling now but I've never really taken that to its full extent. Because it's a lot of work all the time to be on the other side and not be on this in this world. And because you're doing a lot of that work all the time. Yeah. But
yeah. So I have a question for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Well,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question for you about automatic writing.
Yes.
About automatic writing. So I've seen automatic writing and it looks like gibberish. Do you write gibberish or
No,
tell
she
me?
doesn't really allow that. Since we're doing the experiment, she is, no, it's always very precise, and no, we would do it for say I have like 5 clients who wanted it, so I could stay in trance and write like 17 pages within a few hours. And then it was, and so what happens is, you know, they're like in a line, or they line up on the other side, and we talk about their stuff for a minute with a you know, with the question, and with my spirit guide, and with whoever's coming in to speak. And when they are to write through me, they are to use my handwriting, and they are to write legibly. And, you know, and they can write in another language, like for maybe a sentence or two, but no time else. And so, because there was a lot of other languages that would come through and that sort of stuff, but that's it. And the spelling doesn't have to be precise. Just make sure that it is concise. And, you know, and so Abenda really just was very, handled everything. She's a Taurus too. She was born a Taurus. So she doesn't, you know, she has a certain protocol on the other side that doesn't. She was born in France in 1814, and she just has a certain protocol even on the other side. She doesn't allow a lot of mischief. There's no mischief. She never allows mischief.
Yeah.
And so it's
you
really
know,
interesting. I was going to tell you about how one of our big arguments. This was one of our bigger arguments.
Before you tell me that, I was telling my people, I think it was on YouTube not too long ago, that if someone does automatic writing, it's almost like speaking in tongues, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want you religious people to get upset with me, but there's really no such thing as speaking in tongues unless somebody is there to decipher the language, right?
Right.
So I said that the same thing about automatic writing. I said, this is how I feel, but you're confirming it, because I was like, if automatic writing is a bunch of gibberish, which I've seen, I said, it's not real. You have to interpret it, and you just confirmed it.
Right.
I've been telling people this for years. It's not automatic writing. It's you pretending to be something. Not that you're not getting it, but you can't say automatic writing unless I can decipher or you can decipher.
Right. 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 And a lot of it is, you know, I mean, all you have to ask them is to write legibly. But, you know, I mean, usually I have MP3s. Anybody wants to automatic write, I have a couple of MP3s out of my on Terra Insight and on my eye hypnotherapy app that they can do automatic writing.
That's so cool.
They're guided to do it. And so that way they can try to actually do it. As far as for Abenda,
that is so cool. So they can go on your website and purchase the MP3,
right,
and learn how to automatic write.
Yes, yes,
that is so cool. So remember that, everyone. You know, it's a good thing to practice. It's a good thing to take something out of the box and listen to an audio and start to figure out how to augment and change in the spirituality world. I think that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so go ahead. So you have that on your website that if people want to purchase.
Yeah. So the argument that Abenda and I have for a long time was that she wouldn't tell me the meaning of her name. And so in the early 80s, 1980s, she wouldn't tell me the meaning of her name.
I just looked up Abenda and it wouldn't show me. Hold on a second.
It didn't?
I'm very, well, no, it wouldn't. It showed me agenda. And in my mind, I'm talking to spirit, and I go, spirit. Yeah, I go, spirit. I don't have enough time, and I didn't want you see me looking in my phone. And so I said, in my mind, I said, spirit, I don't have enough time. Show me Abenda. And they wouldn't.
Oh, how funny. So anyway, so what happened is that that was the thing, is on she wouldn't tell me the meaning of her name. She wouldn't tell me the meaning of her name. And so, and every time I asked, she would say, what she would say is that future technology will tell you the meaning of my name. Yeah. So, and I was like, future technology? What's going to be future technology? You know, like, what are you talking about? So I'd be like, oh my gosh, you can't tell me the meaning of your name.
All
What
I know is 8-track right now. Right.
Right. Yeah, because she told me like what her name was in France and stuff like that, right? So then I went to France, you know, and did a lot of research and everything, and had amazing psychic phenomena. It was absolutely incredible. But the thing is that, so I went and did, 1997. What was the first thing I ever looked on the web? Was Abenda. And so what Abenda means is actually, it's a mathematical term that means infinity. And so it goes agenda real fast, but if you look at the thing, it probably comes up my stuff. But the thing, Abenda, is actually a mathematical term. It means the beginning and the end, and it is infinity. So it was worth it for me to wait. Well, 1997 to actually get to
even get that information. Well, even if like,
I have to look too.
One thing I can tell you about spirit, it may be like, I know spirit, and I'm still looking it up, and it still brings me to agenda, which is weird. And so it wasn't meant for me to be like getting around the bend to find it. It was up to you to tell me and to tell the world.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it comes up
Spirit's like, girl, stay out my way.
Yeah, I guess it's a font too now. Oh yeah, no, it's all professors and different thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it comes up.
But
it comes up for me. It comes up for me.
I'm still getting agenda. That is so
it comes
weird.
up on Amazon.
I'm so pissed at you, Spirit.
Right. Amazon.com.
Well, let me tell you, beyond the what's.com? I'm sorry?
Oh, Amazon.com for my books. You know, Blame It on Your Past Lives.
I want to check that out real quick.
And then I have Abenda Writings, and then I have the Abenda Chronicles. Yeah, they're fun. They're really fun.
Put in your last name.
Tara Sutphen.
Will they show me all of your books?
Yeah, it should be Tara Sutphen. Put Tara Sutphen. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's another Sutphen, just because they're.
Yeah, because I'm related to
Tara.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Personal problems and supernatural solutions.
Yeah, that's been
personal problems and supernatural. Oh, same. Oh, yeah.
That's my moniker.
Explain your life and loves.
Yeah.
What's Monica? What do you mean?
My moniker is personal problems and supernatural solutions. It's always been since the 90s.
Does Monica have a meaning though? I don't understand.
Well, moniker. Oh, it's your like your epithet or your what I say is what I do. Yeah, it's basically it's personal, and you are too. That is actually your moniker as well. It's personal problems and supernatural solutions. Yeah, that's what you
get it. I get it. Oh.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, I understand. It's funny. Again, only you can take me out of my comfort zone. And that's only because you have worked in this world for so long. So you're actually teaching so many new things to me. And
good.
Man, this is beautiful. Blame It on Your Past Lives is another book.
Blame It on Your Past Lives, because I don't believe in blame. But I love it. Blame it on your friends, blame it on your kids, blame it on, society, blame it on everything, but blame it on your past lives. Let's go.
Blame it on your past lives.
Yeah. So that's why.
That is the whole problem. Right.
Of course.
The Abenda Chronicles. Look at all these books. Dream of Past Lives.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not mine.
Automatic Writing. That's the audio cassette. Is that the one where somebody could purchase?
So that's one of mine. Oh yeah, I have tons of on my website. Or my eye hypnotherapy, or
you're exactly like Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason's
on
fabulous,
iTunes,
isn't he?
Google Play too. Yeah. That you're exactly like Jason, because when you check Jason is Om, and all these different types of. You guys are amazing. By the way, whoever came late, this is Jason D. McKean, sister. Yeah. He's been on the show. I talk about him a lot.
You guys are best friends.
That Jason. Wait a second. One of your books is $900. Did you know that?
No, which one? It is $900. Oh, it must be Blame It on Your Past Lives, right?
No. Blame It on Your Past Life. Yes.
Yeah, because it's out of print. Oh, $907. Wow. Yeah. Well, if anybody really, I mean, it's been reprinted. It's reprinted and revised. But if you want that, I have a few copies left, but you're right. I only have a few copies left of that book. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. There's a book, long story, that I've been searching for that was for $900, $500, $600. I kept finding it on Amazon. And let me tell you, Sarah, I want to teach this to people too, just like we talked about my high blood pressure being high. And I said, walk away for 10 minutes. It won't be high. And sure enough, I went into a zone. And because Spirit now talks to us in our mode of communication, Spirit is now comfortable talking to us this way. And I couldn't, this book, I had everybody in my group looking for this book. And one day I just said, God, I'm not paying that. And one of my co-workers, Kiana, found the book, found it. One was for 50, I think one was for 40, but something went wrong with delivery. And I knew it. I was like, that's because I'm going to get the book. Like the fact that she found it, even though it didn't show up, and was delivered to her, I knew it wasn't the end. Within weeks, I was like, let me check again. And I think the total I paid was $54.
Oh, okay. That is good. Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it's been
Blame It on Your Past Lives must be some amazing book.
Yeah. Yeah. You can get that book very much cheaper than that on the reprint.
Well,
like less than 20.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So who's the publisher? Were you and your husband the publisher?
Of that book, yeah.
Because you're a publishing company, right?
Yeah, we were a publishing company. Yeah, we had a lot of music, new age music, and we had a lot of books. We had a lot of authors. That we chose and promoted. We loved that. We did.
But I would
I loved all that.
Since the publishing company is no more, then that's why it's priced so high.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know why. Just one of those things. Yeah. It's okay.
But it must be an amazing book.
It's a fun book. It'd be fun for your group.
It must be amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. But it'd be a fun book.
The sound was delayed.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're fun, just the hypnosis and all the, learning. Because that's what we like to do. I love to cheat.
I would say if anyone wants to look at any of these, first go on your site, tarainsight.com, and then Tara Sutphen, Sutphen, on Amazon. All her books are here.
Yeah.
All of them. There's something missing here. It's an audio cassette, Dream Dance Meditation.
Yeah, Dream Dance. Yeah. Why is it missing?
Yes. Let me just remind. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, it's not missing. It says no image available. Don't pay
Oh,
me any mind.
right.
And hypnosis, which I discovered early on, for those of you that just got here, is a way to, it's a form of meditation.
Right. Well,
And
even,
so I'm so
yeah.
open to hypnosis, and I'm so open to giving my clients, you know, another avenue for healing.
Yeah, it's really nice. It really is nice. Well, you know, I have a student. She's a really fabulous student of mine. And she was working in California a little bit. I wrote about her, like past blogs. That's what I was writing about her. Her name is Liz. And she's a Reiki specialist, and she decided to, and she's psychic. She works out of a bookstore in Florida, on the Gulf side. And you know, it's incredible that some stores are just so alive and well. I mean, they make a lot of money every day. Yeah. Every day, all their psychics. I mean, people are just so alive and wanting, they're being read and having fun. And so she came and I did a hypnotist training back, I think in July. And I'm going to have another one. I can do another one in February. I'm thinking about it. I advertised it. So if I get enough people for it, I'll go ahead and do it.
And what are you going to be doing in February?
Hypnotist training.
Just let me know. What are you doing in February?
Okay. Yeah, from 1 through 5, hypnotist training. So you can look it up on and see if you're interested.
And how long?
February 1st.
Okay, because I would love to share it.
Yeah.
February 1st through the 5th. Okay, because I would love to share it. So I'll look it up and then I'll share it.
Yeah. And so
on my social media.
Right.
Yeah.
So so she added it to her repertoire, you know, and she is so good. I mean,
yeah.
It just enhanced her work more with the Reiki and I mean, fabulous.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we do round ourselves out, it's kind of fun. Yeah, I find it fun. Yes. And I've been in this, you know, for a long time.
So I wanted
to. Yeah, I love
this. You're very disciplined in this for a long time. Yes. Like very trusting, very disciplined, having your Abenda guide. So let me tell you, in terms of maybe me having an Abenda type person, but maybe not knowing it. So I went from Asian culture, because that's all I had. And then there was a tarot store in Staten Island, New York. So I started going there, and that woman that owned that store, Mystical something in Staten Island, I forget now, gave classes. And at one point, she was one of those, very similar to you. She just had a lot of experience, a lot of worldly stuff. And so she put us in meditation. She taught me that I could remote heal, which apparently is supposed to be my gift, but I pulled back from it because I was afraid I was going to have people lined out the door, and I felt like it would be a prison for me.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
So I didn't invest in that. But I know that I can
blood pressure down in minutes. You are a great healer. I mean, you know, whether you know or not, you know, that's what that told me. Yes. You know, I was on that deeper level. Yeah. Hello.
Thank you. And so she put us under to have a conversation with our spirit guide, right? And she said, come up with a name.
Yeah.
Or, you know, ask the name. So I went under, and when I came up, she says, you know, what's the name? What's the name? Tracy, what's your name? And I said, mine, her, his, I don't know. But I didn't know to believe well enough back then. And you're teaching me something now. And the name was Plethora.
Oh, okay. So like
maybe in my ignorance, I really didn't know what.
Yeah. Plethora. Yeah, what is it? Is it Greek?
I don't know. I know the meaning now because one day I was reading a book by Dan Brown, the one about Rome and all the idiosyncrasies and the secrets
Right.
in Rome. I forget the name of the book. And the word plethora came up again. So it
And
means
you're right.
a lot of.
A lot of. Oh,
I'm
how
sorry.
perfect. How perfect.
Yes.
It's like a benda. You have a lot. That's the name. A lot of. Plethora.
I'm so upset. All these years, I
Well,
discounted.
right. Well, you know, we're always
I think in their
working
ignorance,
to be
they
ready.
stayed with me anyway.
Yeah. You're just working to be ready. You're fine.
Oh, I like look at your outfit. I love
Oh,
this. What is
thank you.
this? How was it hiding all this time? It's gorgeous. I
Thank
bet
you.
it's long. Okay, this is what I wanted to. It's long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long shirt, long blouse. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of just long.
Yeah. One of those long, because
Yeah.
that's your style. The
Yeah.
first time I met you was at the Green Man store.
Yeah.
Hold on, this lighting. I get this afternoon light that's just
Afternoon. Yeah, it's trying to
over
get
me.
you. The sun's
And
getting you. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting shadows.
And it's only in the winter. It's not the same
Oh,
light
it's,
in the summer. But then I think my door is closed, the air conditioner's on. But
yeah.
the first time I met you, I knew you were coming because we were having a psychic fair, and Jason had always talked about you.
Yeah.
And so Jason is kind of near me, and he goes, "Tracy, that's Tara." And when I looked at you, I swear to God, you were gliding.
Oh.
Gliding. You were doing this, not walking, gliding. And I was like, "Oh wow, she's a master." I swear, I knew it.
How fun. How fun.
Just in that visual, I was like, she's a master. You know?
That's fun.
Because there is something about you that just
Yeah.
rises to the top. And it's so evident. And I'm looking at everything that you. Okay. So I need something else. Hypothesia. What's that?
Yeah. Hypnothesia. Hypnothesia. Yeah. If you don't get it, if you're not getting, you know, because hypnotherapy, I make an MP3 for everybody during a hypnosis session. And so you should listen to it 60 to 90 times. Because if you listen to it every night, it embeds into your brain, just like you learn words, how you learn to do things, you know, it becomes a habit. It embeds.
Habit, yes.
Right. So that's how hypnotherapy works. But so people won't, you know, just like exercising, just like diets, just like anything, they won't do it. They just don't do it. They just don't want the repetition of something. You fight it. There's something that's blocking you, you know, it's just, you know, just you're not wanting to go there. So hypnothesia, well, I worked with an anesthesiologist. And so you're put into a light trance. You can either stay awake or you can go to just into twilight, into sleep. Yeah. And I embed these suggestions into your brain. So I go over everything that you want to be put, the suggestions into your mind. We go over everything. And the anesthesiologist is an MD, so he makes sure that you're well enough to go under any anesthesia, even if it's just tiny anesthesia.
Right.
And at a surgery center, we embed the brain with suggestions, basically. Yeah. So if you want to be successful and you feel that you know, the money has just not flowed, I embed the suggestions into your mind. That, you know, you don't have to fight yourself, basically. And it's not, I don't use words like fight. I don't use words that are negative. It's only on a positive level that that all it is you're going to you're not going to trip yourself up anymore. The blocks are going to be removed.
You're just going to receive it.
Mm-hmm. You're going to receive it. Yeah. And that's what we want. We want to receive in life. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing, is to receive.
Yeah. Sometimes I talk to some of my clients and I'll say something like, as an example, I would say something like, just say, I'm going to be successful at this. Just say it. And you will. And then they'll repeat it. And sometimes, depending upon what I'm trying to infuse. I'm like, say it now. And they're like, I'm going to be successful at this. And then they'll add to it and they'll be like, someday. I was like, no. Don't negate a positive message.
Right.
Just say it over and over, and your body will receive it. So I love hypnothesia. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, hypnothesia.
Let me tell you something. I am definitely a fan of that because COVID.
Oh, yeah. The fear.
Well, it's the fear, but COVID is telling a lot of people, you can't work in this industry anymore. Get out.
Right.
You can't do this. You're not going to make money here. Get out.
Right.
And so people wind up coming home on unemployment and trying to figure out, well, what's the next message?
Right.
Because unemployment can't be the message.
Right.
And to have someone like you be there to help you to understand that you can recreate yourself during the COVID. You can be successful.
I took a picture of it. Yes, I know. Yeah, you have to bend your mind. There's so much fear, and that's why, I threw up, that sometimes courage in the back of it, because, it's like, really, we have to champion ourselves. We have to go to the next level. We're really good at championing others, like you were saying, like your son. You don't want to block anybody by striving too hard in front of them, the same thing. And I know that too, what you do for your kids and stuff. But the bottom line is that, no, I mean, you there's room for everyone. There's a lot of people that hurt in the world, like, 100% of us on a lot of different things. So, you just put it out there that, I mean, we want to have the support. We want to have, we want to be able to step into a great life, not a mediocre life or even a bad life. I mean, it's so easy to trip. It is just so easy to trip up badly. Bad habits, phobias, negative speaking all the time.
I know.
Depression. Oh, man.
Returning to exes that you knew weren't good for you.
Oh, gosh. And
3 years ago.
Oh, my God. And that one, I mean, it's so easy. It seems so hard to get into a relationship, and
anyways.
Yeah. And then once you get into a relationship, you think, oh, this is it. I'm supposed to like be in this and everything. And then it's so hard to extradite yourself. I mean, it's like, well, what is this? But, I mean, like marriages and stuff, people like are all the time, second guessing themselves. And so, it's just really hard, and people hurt each other's feelings so badly all the time. And that's a lot of the hypnothesia, is you're just not going to feel hurt.
One of the problems that
I'm not going to bring you into being a sociopath, but you're definitely not going to be, sitting wallowing in a puddle.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. One of the problems that I find in my community, if you guys don't mind me mentioning, is that sometimes we speak harshly.
Yes.
And we speak harshly to our children.
I know. Yeah.
And I know that some past life stuff, talking about your book, blame it on my past life. I get that in terms of like, what is that? And sometimes we don't know how not to speak harshly.
Right.
We don't have that familiar energy because my mama did it, her mama did it, her mama did it, slavery did it.
Well, they wanted to be heard. There's probably a lot of things where women were not heard or people are not heard. And so they raise their voices. That's usually what that is. Yeah. They need to be heard in life.
But I just think if I just speak about my community, because I think, and I hope you guys don't mind me saying this, I think we need so much help.
Yeah.
And we haven't had the tools, Tara. We haven't had the tools. We haven't had people. We've had religious leaders.
You're right. Which can be okay sometimes.
Well, they're actually, no.
No?
No, no.
All right.
No.
We'll go along with you.
Not every religious leader. I can't speak
No.
for all the people,
No.
but you know, they're a part of the whole mind fuck too, the whole discipline, the
Yeah.
cultural discipline.
Yeah.
You know, and women fall victim to the cultural discipline because of the most pastors and preachers, for the most part, are male. So
Right.
when they're talking for your husband, for your boyfriend. And
Yes.
they're asking you to toe the line and take care of others and not care for. And so there's a lot of stuff that we went over today that I think.
Well, you're never a second-class citizen. No one is. They should, you know, we all have to take care of our bodies. It's a temple. You know, we were given this incredible life. It is a miracle. We are miracles, and we should treat ourselves as such in every way. We are a miracle.
Yes.
And so the moment that we come into our thought process and allow ourselves to know that our body loves itself, like our organs all love each other, and our blood loves all of our organs, and our cells are incredible. You know, our cells are all about rejuvenation and regeneration. And if we can come back into balance with just even our body, you know, working at optimum level, that propels us into, you know, not raising our voice, knowing that we can, you know, give to others without, you know, being in any sort of a disharmonious way, because that's the bottom line, you know, is we want, you know, we're all goddesses. I mean, it's all about really.
I believe that.
Bringing in the miracle.
I think God is energy, and I believe I'm here
nurture others.
to be a goddess, not different from anybody else. You are too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful life if we create that.
It's beautiful if you can begin to believe that about you.
Yes. It has.
Imagine if all the women just went around truly believing that they're all goddesses. How beautiful would we all treat each other?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's about trust.
Children.
Yeah, trust yourself, and then you're going to trust everybody else. You know, because, you know, I always have very high opinions about everybody's, you know, lot in life. You know, no matter what anybody does, there is such great love within everyone. You know, let's just expect that. I expect it.
Yeah.
And if they can't live up to themselves, that's their thing. But I will help them. You know, I'm good about helping everybody.
Don't understand that it's okay to live up to yourself.
Yeah. So that's what you're saying.
That's why you're here, to help them to understand it's okay to actualize a different you.
Right. Yeah.
I want that. I want that for, you know, I'm a girl's girl, right? I think men have it very lucky. I think, you know, Tara, I've got a 5-year-old grandson. He's 5 or 7. I don't know how old he is. And he says, I'm king.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, whoa. Can your daddy be king first? And he goes, I'm Dory. And he goes, Dory, there can be 2 kings. I'm like, no. Can your daddy be king? And he passed the crown on to you? But he came out. And again, I say that because his penis gives him that permission somehow. I don't know how at 7. How do you know this?
Well, I believe that. Well, I don't think that necessarily men have it easy, but I think that your grandson, already has a really good, healthy self-esteem. So what you do is you build from that. Because, okay, if you're king, so what are you going to do? Because you're going to have to learn things, you know, and be an authority in things. Because, you know, to be skillful and to be an authority in all those skills would be great. You know,
well, the one thing
I felt music for him a lot. I just felt music.
Yeah, I don't know why he came into this world, but the one thing, and we'll figure that out much later. So the only thing we can offer up right now at 7 is kindness.
Yes.
And so we practice displays of kindness with your words, your action. Yeah. And if you fall out of step, that's okay. Get back on to being kind to others. Because what he doesn't seem to realize is that if he calls himself a king at 7, he could be a tyrant at 27.
Well, of course. Well, it just depends how the programming of his parents, how they allow that, how they help program that. Because it's healthy self-esteem. I would take it as healthy first. And then, because 27.
I took it as fear first. I'm like, what is this? I was like,
well, you might be seeing something, because you are a psychic, I mean, there is two pathways to that, but
exactly.
But you are the grandmother, so you may be able to steer him in the right direction instead of the wrong direction. At least have a voice.
Yes, and I believe that as a grandmother, I understand my role. And he spent time with his dad, during the Zoom in Washington. And we had an astrologer read the parents and the two kids, it's a granddaughter and my grandson. And one of the things that came out of the astrology reading is that 7 years old is a critical age. And as God would have it, he's stuck in the house, not in a bad way, with his dad, with his stepmom. And boy, the restructuring, the retraining, just from the longevity of this visit. Usually the visit is like over the summer, but just the longevity of this visit at a critical 7-year-old age.
Yeah.
And you could see like how important it, what occurred these past months. It's been a gem to watch my grandson change. And I see a better child in this. Not that I didn't see a bad child, but I was starting to question. And I was like, what the hell is going on here, God? But again, if you trust God, what does God do? He can autocorrect. He'll meet you up with people that can help you with that. Like there's a psychic for that. There's a crystal for that. I think I saw something.
There's a crystal for that.
There's a psychic for that. Like change is it's the one thing you know how to do.
Oh yeah.
So just before we end, because again, you're one of those people which I didn't know, like you and I could talk forever.
Ever.
Shamanic sorcery.
Yes.
What is that? Now I love the shamans. I'd love to have an experience one day when COVID is over. I would love that. So tell me what that is.
Well, that's when I have you really focus on what you want. It's just a focus. It's a focus ability. So it's usually putting you into trance and and saying you want like a job. It's like it can be hypnosis. It can be a psychic sourcing. It can be at night. It can be, it's just kind of a mystical thing that I do with people. Yeah.
Can you do that over the phone?
Yeah, you can do it over the phone. Yeah,
it can be
phone, it can be Zoom, it can be FaceTime, but it can be just over the phone.
No, that's what I meant. No. I meant Zoom, FaceTime. I don't know. I was thinking in terms of those. I was just thinking in terms of COVID.
Yeah.
So when I said phone, I didn't mean necessarily audio. I totally believe in Zoom and FaceTime.
Yeah, so if they want something. Say they want something, there's something that they want, like a house. Say they want a house. Yeah. Well, how do you get that house? Well, first of all, you have to create the intention to have the house.
Yes,
it's about creating intentions in your life.
Yeah. I remember years ago, I was working at the Green Man store, and I said to God, or who I believe is God, but I always say, God. And I said, I want to give tarot classes.
Oh, yeah.
And God was like, nope. And I was like, well, why not? And he's like, because you're going to do it for the world. And I was like, well, that's just the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
I went back a year later because everybody was doing tarot classes out of the Green Man store. And I went back a year later and I was like, Spirit, I want to do tarot classes. And God was like, no. And he's repeated it. You're going to do it for the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, only thing I understood.
For the Green Man?
Huh?
Are you still working for the Green Man?
Oh, no, I'm on.
Okay.
I've been on my own for like 4 years now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then
I wondered if you went out of them sometimes.
Yeah, no. I got fired from them. Like, I'm a trope. Listen, I've gotten fired from every psychic company I've ever worked for. It's hilarious. I've gotten fired from every job I've ever worked for, and then every psychic company I've ever worked for, and I'm the best goddamn psychic in the world. How do I get fired?
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't fire you.
Well,
ever.
I don't know, Tara. Like, I'm lucky. You know, I'm like this to people. Like, it was terrible. I don't blame them, to be honest with you. You know, trust me. It's like,
anyway, you were saying about the tarot classes, right? The tarot classes. So the tarot classes, you're being told that it's a bigger purpose, and you're not supposed to be messing around.
It wasn't supposed to be cute.
Yeah.
It was supposed, and I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And so I start my YouTube channel, and once I'm home, I do more of the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Mostly celebrity readings, blah, 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 blah. And then Spirit said, do tarot.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So I've gotten like 4 tarot classes out in the last few years.
Good.
So I say that to say, listen to your spirit guides, your abenas.
Yes, abendas. Yeah, your what is yours? Plethora.
Well, now that I know, I could have given her a name all these years.
No, it is her name.
Huh?
That is her name.
I know now. Thank you.
No, isn't that beautiful?
Imagine all these years, and she's like, call my name. And I was like, whatever, universe.
Right. She has a name, and it's a beautiful name too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And is it Roman or Greek?
Oh,
is it Roman?
You did ask that before. I don't know.
Yeah. Is that I always
again, because I didn't acknowledge it.
She's probably in that. Yeah. Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like these you know, it's not a regular dictionary. It doesn't quite say the original origin.
No, sometimes it doesn't, you know.
Because it's so modern day time.
I know.
Like a dictionary would always tell you all of that.
It's Latin. It comes from ancient Greek, but it was late Latin. So it came from Greece and then went to Rome, you know, which they did a lot of that stuff. So, okay.
You helped me. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll send that to you too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to wrap this up. Yes. I just want to go back to your website, TaraInsight.com. Tara, TaraInsight. Let me just type it in real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
And Tara is fascinating. And what you guys don't know is that SIGHT.com. Mm-hmm. What you guys don't know is that I've always seen Tara as a master. And so I did not believe I was qualified to, you know.
And then we didn't talk about the animal psychic, but I have opened the equine. I'm doing equine therapy. So, yeah, I'm doing that.
Equine therapy? Help me with that. What is equine therapy?
Horses are equine. So equine therapy, it's just, you know, if somebody, you know, I mean, I don't think that people are being hugged. So, you know, I thought, oh, well, I can open up equine therapy for, you know, somebody come and, you know, learn about horses and just feel loved and more courageous about love again in life.
And what part of California is your equine therapy?
Los Angeles.
It's in Los Angeles here.
Yeah. So, you know, you can contact me. And,
are you in the valley?
Well, you know, when they contact me, I can tell them where the horses are. And, you know, I mean, it's got an appointment, you know, by appointment.
No, I understand that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also,
but it's in the LA area. Yeah.
LA area. Got it.
Yeah.
also a pet psychic?
Yeah, I've taught a lot of psychic classes. I was, yeah, I mean, a lot of pet psychic stuff. Yeah, I love all that. I love to play with all of it.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. I watch how Jason loves his 2 babies.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're so cute. Those 2 beautiful little babies. Yeah,
yes,
they're the cutest dogs.
Well, Tara, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I know, Tracy. It's great to get to know you better.
I know. I feel the same way about you.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you again soon.
We will. We'll talk again. I pray that the COVID ends so I can have more, personal interaction with you. I think the last time I saw you was on Zoom for Jason's birthday.
Yes.
How awkward. COVID has really changed the look of gatherings.
I know. Yeah, Zoom, and we look forward to Zoom. I was on New Year's Eve Zoom, with my friends.
Did you guys have a New Year's Eve? Did you guys have a New Year's Eve gathering?
Yeah. Jason was on there too. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Jason and my kids and my brother and all my friends from years ago. It was funny because I put a New Year's picture up and that was who came on Zoom. All my funny. These authors and people I knew. Yeah, it was fun. Just people checking in. It was.
Well, you just have a plethora of clients. You have a lot of celebrity clients. You don't play.
No, I don't mess around.
I know. I told you. I saw you gliding, and I knew then. I was like, oh, she's got something there, and it was beautiful. And thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So again, if any of you would like to reach out to Tara, it's tarainsight.com.
All right.
Let me just highlight that for the end of the show. tarainsight.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, leave studio.
Yes. All right. I'm going to end it.
All right.
Bye.